do you see Trump 2.0 affecting, shaping relations with India?
Look, I think the broad strategic trajectory of India-US relations will continue to grow and strengthen because there is a convergence of interest in the Indo-Pacific about how to shape a balance in the light of an increasingly assertive China, which can also sometimes be aggressive. So that, I think, will continue to bring the two countries closer together. Having said that, there could be challenges on the trade front because President Trump has said he will impose an across-the-board tariff of 20% on all imports to the US, so that will impact India as well. He has also said that he will put much higher tariffs, 50 to 60%, on all Chinese imports into the US. Now, we have to wait and see if he implements this or if he implements it selectively. But this could also provide some opportunities for India in the light of the policy being followed by Western business to de-risk from over-dependence on China. It doesn't mean that India is the only country which stands to benefit from this. There are other countries in play which have got FDI as part of this China plus one policy.
Right.
And include Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, Poland, Mexico. So it depends on how international businesses see
Meera,
the business climate in India.
do you see Trump and Trump policies forcing Modi's hand, perhaps even forcing him to cut import levies?
I don't think so. I think the BJP government has also adopted a somewhat nationalist policy on trade. And given the fact that India is trying to jumpstart manufacturing here because we are largely a services-driven economy, and that's not creating enough jobs, that I think that this is likely to continue. India will have to deal with President Trump pragmatically. And the last time, he imposed tariffs on steel and aluminium imports from India, we had negotiated with the US for 2 years before imposing reciprocal tariffs. So I suppose the effort would be to try to find some pragmatic way forward. During the Biden administration, the two countries were able to resolve 6 of their WTO disputes bilaterally. So we'll have to wait and see.
Meera, on the security front, do you see the U.S. shaping, impacting relations between India and Canada? Might the U.S. weigh on that?
Well, President Trump has generally not taken a very interventionist approach. But on the whole issue of Sikh support for a separate state in India and incitement to violence in India, funding of violence in India, he may take a more indifferent approach because he has said that he is not going to make human rights or democratic freedoms a core priority for his foreign policy approach. So that could certainly weigh in. And Canada does take signals from the US.
In terms of the Quad, of course, India, part of the foursome that make up the Quad. How do you see that relationship developing?
Look, Biden has imbued the Quad with a lot of importance. He's elevated it to summit level, attended all the summits, either virtually or in person. Now, the question is, will Trump give it the same importance? he might, because he's the one who resurrected the Quad, and meetings were held at foreign ministerial level during his term. So he might see it as his initiative, but generally he has not been very inclined towards institutional arrangements for pursuit of US policy. So, that was Biden's approach, building coalitions across the Indo-Pacific. There was Quad, there was AUKUS, there was the China, Japan, South Korea trilateral, there was the defense
Right.
agreement with Philippines, and in West Asia, there was the India, Israel, UAE, US foursome.
But Biden also agreed to technological transfers with India. Do you see that continuing under Trump?
There could be a question mark, especially, well, I think the GE F414 deal for manufacturing jet engines jointly in India with HAL, which will power the Mark II Tejas aircraft, which India is building on its own, will probably continue. But the ISET, the Initiative on Critical and Emerging Technologies, which is more amorphous, creating an ecosystem of business, universities, research institutions, I think that really requires the oxygen of government interest. And here we had the two NSAs steering it. So it got that kind of push. Whether the same enthusiasm for it will remain or whether Trump will pull back is a question mark, because he hasn't said anything on it. But overall, he
Right.
has been averse to technology transfers, technology sharing with other countries, saying, why are we doing that? We should be selling.
And linked to that is Indian talent mobility. Meera, we know that Trump wants to bring the manufacturing sector back home. He's looking at making America great again. How might that play out in terms of talent mobility? How might that impact Indian talent in the U.S.?
There are a number of Indians who go to the US to pursue higher education. Many of them immigrate legally to the US. There are also Indians who go on H-1B visas in pursuit of contracts which Indian companies have with US companies, and also in pursuit of filling skill vacancies in some of the largest US companies. So it's not just the Indian companies who use the H-1B visa process. It's all your tech companies, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, what have you. All of them use Indian skill and talent under the H-1B program. And that's because there is a skills gap in the United States as well. Your unemployment rates have been at record lows.
Right.
I think they were 3.3% under Biden, now gone up to a little over 4%. And there is a consistent skills gap. So, yes, Trump may make the process of getting H-1B visas more cumbersome, though he himself has made conflicting statements. He says we welcome legal immigration at some stage. And then he's also said that those who have master's degrees in the sciences or technical areas could stay on for a year to work. So we really don't know with what severity
Right.
he's going to crack down on legal movement as well as
Meera?
illegal immigration.